Thank you for joining us on this special edition of 8 News Now Good Day. I'm Kirsten Joyce.
I'm John Langler. 1 year ago, October 1 became for us here in the Valley 1 October. 58 lives lost at the Route 91 Music Festival.
Today, as we stand Vegas stronger, we dedicate our newscast to honoring those affected by 1 October. We are live at the Clark County Government Building, where later this morning a very special ceremony will take place to honor the many victims and survivors.
And of course, since the shooting, our community has banded together. There have been memorials all across the Valley, all to help survivors and those who know the victims move forward from last year's tragedy. So we have an entire morning of events planned here, not only at the Clark County Government Building, but all across the Valley. Our reporters will be covering that for you as Vegas moves Vegas stronger 1 year from 1 October.
The ceremony will take place at about 6:30 this morning. Of course, we'll be out here all morning long, and our various reporters out at the Healing Garden, also inside the Rotunda. We'll be chatting with those who are closely involved with the ceremony as well.
And telling stories from survivors, from families, from those who were there, from those who have been affected by the tragedy. All throughout the morning, we'll be telling those stories to you, people maybe perhaps that you know as well who have survived this unfortunate tragedy, as we again honor those who were lost and take pride in the fact that we are in fact Vegas stronger. It is, of course, Monday morning, though. It is 4 o'clock in the morning. Let's get back into the 8 News Now studios with Sherry and a look at the weather for today. Sherry?
Good morning, everybody, and happy Monday, happy October. It is a somber holiday, not a holiday, but a remembrance, of course, for today. I think what John and Kirsten will notice, though, being outdoors this morning, is that it smells like rain outside. There are some big changes coming for our Monday, and fortunately, it looks like the rain will hold off for those services that will be happening early this morning. But this afternoon and into tonight, that could really change. We're on the lookout for rain from Rosa. 76 degrees, 56% humidity, and look at those dew points in the upper 50s. We'll get a quick look at Rosa's progress moving up along over northern Baja now. The hurricane has been downgraded to a tropical storm, but it is loaded with tropical moisture, and it has already been moving a lot of rain up into Arizona. We've got flood watches to tell you about. We even had a few nearby thunderstorms yesterday, but it looks like bona fide rain showers and possible thunderstorms into the Las Vegas area and southern Nevada today. We'll talk more about that in your full forecast, but let's map out your Monday. We'll have cloudy skies, a high humidity getting into the 80s. Temperatures will be much cooler, much more like fall, and we'll only have highs in the upper 80s for the afternoon with that chance of showers and thunderstorms. So grab that umbrella, and it looks like the chance will last through the evening and especially into your Tuesday. 4:03, that means it will be a sloppy afternoon commute if we have those showers by then. Let's say good morning to Nate at 4:03. Good morning, Nate.
Good morning, Sherry. Good Monday morning to you. We do not have wet streets right now, but there is a closure of an intersection up in North Las Vegas. This is Craig Road, and you're looking to the west. The headlights are coming east on Craig. It is closed at Commerce. We don't know exactly what happened here, but we do know that North Las Vegas police have closed the intersection between Commerce and not quite Revere, so you have to have travel plans in another direction because of what happened at Craig Road and Commerce. Into the Spaghetti Bowl we go for wide open rides so far, and the rest of the freeway system early on our Monday morning. Again, things are dry. We'll keep an eye on it for you all morning long. Back to the Clark County Government Center with John and Kirsten.
Thank you very much, Nate.
Of course, the lives of so many survivors have been permanently altered by the 1 October shooting. Samantha Arjun was told that she would live the rest of her life with a bullet in her leg, but her body rejected that bullet.
And Hector Mejia reports that she's now on a venture to find those concert goers who helped save her life.
I had some angels looking after me.
Samantha Arjun went home in a wheelchair a month after 1 October.
I was shot in the left leg, right below the knee, and it shattered everything going down.
An x-ray gives us only an idea of the physical pain she feels. Her leg now supported by a plate and 7 screws.
And I'll have them forever.
With the help of her elderly parents, Arjun began walking 4 months sooner than expected. At first, she says doctors did not remove this bullet out of fear it would cause devastating nerve damage. But 4 weeks later, her body pushed it out of the wound. She stared at that bullet for 18 hours before the FBI picked it up.
I literally had to learn how to walk again, how to take care of myself. And it was like going back to baby steps.
Arjun is now focusing on obtaining her real estate license and locating the real-life angels who helped her and her brother run from the gunfire.
They put me in a garbage can and rolled me out, like one of the big dumpsters, and hid behind it and rolled me out.
Hector Mejia reporting, 8 News Now.
Stand by. And we'll have more stories like that all throughout the morning. Now, as we remember the 58 lives lost 1 year ago today, it's with a heavy heart we report the loss of one of our own, a member of our 8 News Now family. Our own Matt Sherwood has passed away.
Matt was a wonderful editor for the morning show. He was the very definition of someone who was larger than life. He had a great personality, always joking, keeping us happy in the mornings, always willing to help. He had some great stories indeed. He's been around a long time. He started his career in Las Vegas news in the 1980s, worked as a photojournalist and editor. He was pretty much an encyclopedia of Southern Nevada, inducted into the Nevada Broadcasters Hall of Fame in 2007.
Matt was a positive and energetic part of our morning team for a long time, and we are deeply saddened by his loss. We will miss him greatly, so our condolences to his family, Matt Sherwood, who we lost yesterday, from our 8 News Now family. All right, so it's just a little bit, about 10 minutes or so past 4 o'clock here on a Monday morning. Survivors from 1 October reuniting to remember and to heal. We'll have a story on how they mourned privately over the weekend coming up.
Vegas Strong also fills downtown. A look at the second annual charity race as the Valley's news leader returns.
Coalition and vote no on 3.
Over the weekend, survivors, first responders, families of the 58 victims all united to help each other heal and take that next step. Thousands actually gathered for a reunion at Centennial Hills Park on Saturday, almost exactly 1 year after the tragedy. After months for many of them of therapy and mourning, survivors say this event helped them take the next steps forward.
We're leaving from here to go to Fresno, where my daughter's getting married on Friday. So this is a new chapter starting.
Today, 1 year later, we stand as friends, family, and together we are Country Strong.
Money from the event, from the ticket, from the food sales, from that reunion will all be dedicated to families of the 58 1 October victims or their designated charities. John?
Well, Vegas Strong has become a catchphrase of resiliency and unity all across the valley since the shooting. But is the strength of Vegas Strong and Vegas Stronger actually measurable? Is it more than something we just say? Is it actually clinical? UNLV professor Stephen Benning is actually trying to find that out. October 2nd, 2017. The tragedy of the night before was still raw, still being processed. Everyone and everywhere seemed to hurt. Stephen Benning wasn't sure what to do. The UNLV professor's field is psychology. It was there, in research. He felt a difference could be made. Just weeks after 1 October, Professor Benning typed up this questionnaire.
So this is just a way to understand how people reacted to the traumatic stress of the Route 91 shooting, who they were with, how they felt, what's missing from what they understand.
A study to gauge the immediate psychological effects of the tragedy.
We didn't want people to feel like they had to tell us anything.
Today, a little more than 100 people are taking part in the study. 35 were at the Route 91 festival. 1 year after the shooting, Professor Benning says the results are already intriguing. He created this series of charts animating the levels of trauma. The dotted line shows normal stress after a traumatic event. In dark blue, you see trauma felt by members of the community. In red, those who survived the shooting. Over time, you see how the levels change. 6 months afterwards, the community returns to relative normalcy, but for survivors.
Over half of the people at the festival would qualify for a diagnosis of post-traumatic stress.
Despite the trauma, there is one other major theme Professor Benning has found unique to Las Vegas.
The thing that I think our study is really driving home is that people are resilient.
Benning says the study actually shows a spike in gratitude, in strength.
There was unity to their experiences in a way that I think the field wouldn't have expected. We are a community. We are able to come together and build ourselves up after experiencing a grievous wound.
It's far from clinical, though the questions are based on established science. But it is an indicator of how Las Vegas absorbed the tragedy, how it moved on, and how other cities might be able to do the same.
There was this strong sense of community, of caring, of pulling together that I don't think people expected Las Vegas to show. And so I believe that we showed what Vegas Strong really means.
And the study is not over. In fact, Professor Benning and his team are going to continue their work long past 1 year since the tragedy, just to try and get some more facts, some more information, and again, see how communities can recover from tragedies like the one we experienced last year.
Did he give a timetable, like another 6 months, a year, 3 years or anything?
I think their intention is to keep going as long as there is valuable information to be gleaned. Certainly another year at least, just to try and get some more information to pass along to the rest of the world.
Thanks for that.
Next on 8 News Now, a special edition here on the, as we remember, 1 October, a couple showing they are the definition of Vegas Stronger.
Hear how their love for one another kept them alive during a disaster. Stay with us.
your kind of place.
It was a beautiful Sunday morning as 2,800 people hit the streets in downtown Las Vegas yesterday for the Vegas Strong 5K and 1 mile run. It was a way to remember those who were lost and lost their lives while honoring survivors and first responders. Runners pinned the names of the 58 angels to their shirts as a symbol of solidarity. There was a lot of spirit, a lot of love, a lot of sharing. I had the pleasure of emceeing the Vegas Strong 5K event downtown yesterday and met some amazing people. One couple who was at the Route 91 concert a year ago and both injured traveled back for yesterday's event as part of their healing, and I had a chance to hear about their strength and their love of the Las Vegas community. Lauren and Derek Harp love coming to Las Vegas. Like so many others, they had traveled here from out of town a year ago with friends to hear great country music and were enjoying the concert when the shooting started.
We hit the ground and we saw waves of bullets coming over us and hitting the ground, the turf, the dirt coming up, people screaming, people running, and there was a break in fire. And my husband said, "We gotta run." And I looked down at my leg and I said, "But I've been shot." And he said, "I know, you gotta run."
Lauren had a deep gunshot wound to the femoral artery of her right leg and was bleeding badly.
I was thinking that we just had to get out at that time because we just can't just stay lay there and be targets, and we had to move. So I looked up, I scanned the area to see if there was anything around me, and I said, okay, we're gonna go now.
I kind of collapsed and he was hitting the arm and both legs, and a stranger came and lifted me, and he and my husband ran towards the medical tent to get me help.
The young married couple from California was certain that stranger saved her life and kept Lauren from losing her leg.
Threw us back of the truck, eventually made it to Valley Hospital, and I asked the surgeon before he went down, am I going to wake up with both legs? He said, I don't know.
Lauren's surgery lasted 3.5 hours, and it was successful.
I woke up, I was so elated to see my legs still attached, I can't even tell you.
It was difficult, but I mean, after you just keep pushing, you just get over that hump, and you just get back out there, get back to work, and you just start exercising again, you get stronger.
I am a survivor now, I'm no longer a victim. And so that transition has really been powerful, and yeah, it feels good.
But through the chaos at the hospital last October 1st, Derek's wedding ring and wallet were lost. He thinks tossed out in dirty linens. But there is a happy ending to that story. Show us your ring. What happened? You got a new ring?
I did. Robbins Brothers. They hooked me up with a brand new bling bling.
They also gave me a band. We were married on October 3rd, but we were in the hospital, here at Valley Hospital on
your wedding anniversary.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, what an anniversary.
I know.
Well, what a gift that you're here.
Well, I was sure glad I married this guy on that day.
A very, very happy couple, and they say they'll never finish coming back, or they'll never stop coming back to Las Vegas. They feel proud to be part of the Vegas Stronger community now. They felt the camaraderie in yesterday's 5K, and it was so wonderful. They felt very connected to everyone who came out to support them and each other. Well, it was a beautiful day yesterday. I have to say, it was gorgeous sunshine. We weren't really feeling the moisture yet from what is now Tropical Storm Rosa, but Rosa was already sending rain up in Arizona, and we did wind up with some thunderstorms in the afternoon to the east of the Las Vegas Valley. We've got a lot of 70s now. Do you know that we hit 100 degrees again? That was on Saturday. We eked out one more triple-digit day. We've got a few breezes out there, and as the day goes on, we'll start to feel the presence of Rosa move right up into the desert even more so. Rosa's got 50-mile-per-hour winds set up over northern Baja now and starting to really push that tropical moisture up into the desert. Now, while we're not looking for the brunt of the storm, we will get some of these showers being pushed up into the desert, and I think our heaviest rain will come tomorrow. Tuesday looks to be the big rainmaker. Flash flood watches have been posted for all of southern Nevada and over into Arizona, especially southeast California. Ours will start today at 2 p.m. and goes all the way until Wednesday morning at 5 a.m. So we'll start to see those showers develop later this morning. morning into this afternoon tonight and right on into your Tuesday and lasting into Wednesday. Look at these temperatures taking a real dive. Upper 80s today to low 80s tomorrow and Wednesday. Find that umbrella, the rain jacket. You're going to need it, I think, for the next several days. And we'll look to stick to those low 80s even when the sun comes back out. More so on Thursday, right into Friday and Saturday. And then, looks like we could cool off to the 70s. Wow, definitely fall changes for us. 423, let's see what's changing on the road. Here's Nate.
We do have a complete closure of an intersection in North Las Vegas. This is Commerce and Craig. So Craig is going across the lower left corner of your screen. This will be Commerce, north and south. Craig Road is closed. Commerce appears to be open. You want to avoid that area. Meanwhile, the Spaghetti Bowl is looking all right. Maybe some heavier traffic coming off the 95 at Rancho. We'll keep an eye on it for you all morning long. John Kirsten back at the County Government Center.
Thank you very much, Nate. Coming up, 1 October, of course, was felt by everybody across the country.
And on a special edition of 8 News Now Good Day, we're going to take you to a special dedication to the victims. Stay tuned.
Big cash.
Welcome back to a special edition of 8 News Now Good Day. In Southern California, victims of the survivors, I should say, also of the 1 October shooting were honored in Corona, California. A baseball field was renamed in their memory.
The field at Eagle Glen Park is now Remembrance Field in honor of the 58 people. Community members joined survivors yesterday for a very special ceremony, and a plaque unveiled there to the 3 victims.
Vegas Stronger, Hope and Healing.
Thank you for joining us for this special edition of 8 News Now Good Day on this Monday, October 1. I'm Kirsten Joyce.
I'm John Langler. Kirsten and I are live outside the Clark County Government Center in downtown Las Vegas. Behind us, you might be able to see the Vegas Stronger sign over the amphitheater outside the building, because later on this morning there's going to be a special sunrise ceremony to honor the 58 lives lost on October 1st, 2017.
That will start at about 6:30 this morning, and we have our reporters out in the area. We have Nia covering that. We have Hector Mejia at the Healing Garden, Christian Drummond, Orco Mountain, spread out across the valley to honor those who were killed on October 1 and to support those survivors who are still struggling to heal.
Yeah, the thread throughout the morning and throughout the day, in fact, all across Las Vegas, is Vegas Stronger. And we'll be hearing from all sorts of people throughout the day as we continue to talk about those who survived, those who are pushing forward, and others around the valley to talk about what's been going on here since last year. But first, before we go any further, it is Monday morning. It is 4:30. Let's get a check on the weather forecast with Sherry back in the studio. Sherry, good morning.
Good Monday morning, everybody. Yeah, it's going to be Vegas wetter today, too, I'm afraid. As we look for the remnants of Rosa to make their way into the desert, we were already starting to see that for Arizona yesterday, and we had some nearby thunderstorms, which brought some beautiful clouds at sunset yesterday. 76 degrees, lots of humidity out there, and dew points are running high. So Rosa has been downgraded to a tropical storm, but it is certainly on track to bring all that heavy rain right up into Arizona and push rain and thunderstorms into southern Nevada, and that should be starting at least late morning into the afternoon for us here in Las Vegas and Clark County. So be on the lookout. Might want to throw that umbrella in the car, take a rain jacket. As we get through the day, we will see those showers developing. Temperatures are going to take a real downturn. Instead of that 100 degrees on Saturday and sunny, we're looking for very fall-like 80s, and that trend continues for the week. We'll talk about flood watches coming up in just a little bit. 4:32. Let's say good morning to Nate and find out what's in your way on the roads.
Yeah, as you were saying, Sherry, there is no wet roads right now, but there is a road closure from a crash. This is in North Las Vegas. The intersection of Craig Road and Commerce is shut down. You're looking at Craig Road across the lower left corner of your screen. That'll be Commerce moving north and south across the bottom. We don't know exactly what happened, but we do know the intersection is closed. Craig Road and Commerce. In fact, Craig closed as far back as Revere. So you want to go up to Lone Mountain or down to Alexander, over to 5th Street, or perhaps to MLK. We'll continue to follow the rest of the freeways and the traffic throughout the morning. But back to the Clark County Government Center for John and Kirsten.
Thank you, Nate.
And as we said, there will be a special ceremony right behind us here in the amphitheater outside the Clark County Government Center. Everyone invited. Starts at about 6:30.
Yeah, so come by here, come join us. As you mentioned, it is open to the public. We do have Nia Wong joining us live now with more on the Sunrise Remembrance Ceremony. Nia.
Kirsten and John, good morning to you both. Leaders from across Nevada will be here this morning. Their main goal to pay tribute to the victims and survivors of 1 October. This ceremony is expected to start at 6:30 and is expected to run anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour long. Speakers include Governor Brian Sandoval, Sheriff Joe Lombardo, and Minda Smith. Her sister Nisha Tonks was killed at the Route 91 Harvest Music Festival. There will also be a special prayer from Metro Chaplain Dean Sanner and musical performances from the Las Vegas Academy Singers, as well as a multi-agency honor guard. It all wraps up with the release of 58 doves. We'll bring you that sunrise ceremony live at 6:30 this morning. We will also stream it on our 8 News Now Facebook page, as well as online on our website at lasvegasnow.com. Reporting live, Nia Wong, 8 News Now.
And Nia, thank you. Of course, inside the Government Center, there's also an exhibit to the victims and survivors of 1 October. So if you do come down here to watch a ceremony, you certainly can go into the government building as well, which is also open to the public. And again, that ceremony starts at 6:30.
Yeah, the portraits created by artists from all across the globe who just wanted to do something in respect and honor of the victims. Very touching indeed. The Community Healing Garden, it's less than a mile from here, a couple of blocks, maybe half a mile. It, of course, was built with volunteers who wanted to do something. They wanted to help our community heal after 1 October.
It's been a place to mourn and remember ever since 1 October, a place of hope and healing. Hector Mejia is live right now at the downtown Healing Garden with a look at some of the special events taking place all throughout the day. Hector?
John and Kirsten, the people who take care of the Healing Garden, say it's a place to celebrate life, love, beauty, and compassion. Here's a look at the brand new Remembrance Wall. They say the inspiration here is to choose love over fear, life over death, and hope over despair. On Saturday, hundreds of volunteers spent the day at the Healing Garden planting flowers and replacing mementos. Volunteers planted 1,000 flowers and put everything back together since its recent construction. Over 200 people showed up to give the site these finishing touches.
This thing has just been such a place of, an iconic place for people to come over this last year, and so we really needed to make sure that it was just astounding and beautiful for the, the 1 October coming up, the anniversary, if you will, and so we wanted to just put our heart and soul and make sure that it was just as beautiful as possible.
The last piece of construction is still in progress, putting a perimeter wall around the garden. There is a special ceremony here later today. We'll have much more on that coming up in our 5 a.m. hour, as well as a detailed look at what that permanent installation will look like. Reporting live, Hector Mejia, 8 News Now.
All right. Thank you very much, Hector. So many artifacts and mementos were collected at the site of where the 58 crosses stood on the Las Vegas Strip, and they've now all been cataloged and put into a place for people to view it.
And in fact, next right here on 8 News Now, a special edition here on October 1st, we're going to show you an exhibit that showcases how people mourn those we lost 1 year ago today.
On our side.
An emotional new exhibit is on display right now for a limited time at the Clark County Museum. Thousands of artifacts that were left behind at the memorials across the valley in the aftermath of 1 October are now on display.
We now go out to Kristen Drummond, who joins us live with more details on what you can see at that display. Kristen.
John and Kirsten, the exhibit is called How We Mourned. It pays tribute to the victims of 1 October and the thousands of people from around the world who shared their grief by leaving behind tributes not only at the Welcome to Las Vegas sign, but other memorials around the valley.
All of these meant something to someone.
Memorializing a collective grief after 1 October, volunteers for the Clark County Museum have spent months cataloging every single item that was removed from memorial sites around the valley. How We Mourned is as much of a tribute to the victims as those who shared their grief. From personalized candles and flags from around the world, some signed or containing messages that reference the victims. There are cowboy hats, boots, and other items of clothing, stuffed animals, and hundreds of hand-painted stones, rosaries, and familiar signed Vegas Strong banners. The museum's administrator, Mark Hall-Patton, says this is a heavy exhibit. It may be difficult for some people, but it is a part of our history.
We've accessioned over 15,000 artifacts in this collection. Not all of them, of course, are on display in this exhibit. We couldn't fit them all in here. But we're not done with the collection at this point. So this is a huge collection.
While the collection can be emotional for some people, there are also messages of hope. Above it all, signed stars of hope that now hang from the ceiling. So this exhibit runs through February 24th, 2019. Coming up at 5, Orko Manna will be inside the museum to give us a closer look at the artifacts you can see in this exhibit. Reporting live, Kristen Drummond, 8 News Now.
Thank you very much, Kristen.
And while we're here at the county government building getting ready for the sunrise ceremony that'll take place here at about 6:30, we do have other news headlines going on around the world, around the nation. Sherry and Nate are back in the studio with a look at that.
All right, thanks, John and Kirsten. All eyes are on the Supreme Court as they start their fall term today with only 8 of its 9 seats filled. The FBI has reopened its investigation into Brett Kavanaugh, whose confirmation vote has been delayed after multiple sexual misconduct allegations. The Senate is still moving forward. It begins debate on Kavanaugh's nomination this afternoon.
And Sherry, there's a new law that's supposed to crack down on repeat DUI offenders going into effect today. Anybody caught driving under the influence going to have to put in ignition interlocks in their cars for 90 days. And if convicted, they'll be required to use that device for at least 6 months. And though that law targets drunk driving, we're told it may apply to drug-related DUIs as well. Back out now to our continuing coverage of the first anniversary of 1 October. John and Kirsten.
Thank you, Nate and Sherry, and our coverage continues live here from the Clark County Government Building.
Next on 8 News Now, good day, a look at how some survivors are remembering the tragedy they survived permanently. You're watching 8 News Now.
877-150-00.
People in the valley are showing their permanent support to first responders with ink. In fact, over the weekend, one tattoo studio in particular, Massive Tattoo Studio Las Vegas, hosted a huge fundraiser featuring Vegas Strong designs. All of the proceeds, John, benefited local first responders.
One of many events that took place around the valley, certainly for first responders, for survivors, all to help, all to remember, all to mourn what happened 1 year ago today, October 1st, 2017. Here we are, 2018. We're at the Government Center. Behind us, they're getting ready for a sunrise ceremony that will start at 6:30. And throughout Good Day this morning, we'll have special stories. We'll have special coverage of the events taking place all around the valley. As you remember, 1 October, Vegas is stronger. We're back after this on Good Day.